Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I got a pretty cool new drone in the other day. I'm going to take a look at today. This is the Ruko U11 Pro. Now if I say Roku, I'm going to probably say that more than once, maybe numerous times in the review of this drone because it's so similar to Roku. But this is, you know, the streaming dongles you have for your TVs. This is actually Ruko, R-U-K-O, so I hope I don't do that too often. Let's take a quick look at the box and then we'll take a look at the drone. Now, this is just going to be the table review today. Thought I'd divide this up because these multi-featured brushless GPS drones can really run long in the videos. So if you want to see just what comes with this, watch this video. If you just want to see it fly, stay tuned for the flight review. I'm just going to separate it. Rather than sticking the table review at the end of the video like I've been doing, just the overall video length gets to be so long on doing these combined table and flight reviews for these GPS drones like this. So anyway, you can see they advertise that it has a 4K camera, brushless motors as I just mentioned, FPV live video of course, and GPS and altitude hold, both. So I believe it also has optical flow. We'll have to confirm that. The app is the Ruko app, and then here's the QR codes if you need those to download that app for this drone. So you can see it's a foldable GPS drone with a 4K camera. I'll show you guys here. It comes in this nice case, so I mean at least you got a nice way to carry the drone around with you if you're on the go. Now I've had it out of the case, but just briefly, I've not taken everything apart. And here's your instruction manual, your quick start guide, which also has that QR code, and here's your instruction manual, and then there's some safety and disclaimer stuff that no one's going to care about, but we'll try to take a look at that here in a moment. Here is the drone, the controller, and some of the other accessories. Let's see what's in the back here real quick. There's probably going to be some extra props and charging cables and stuff like that. Yeah, I got a charging cable for the battery, and the controller. I think we'll have to see if the controller's rechargeable or not, and some spare props. See if this is this something as well. This may be a screwdriver. Yeah, just some more screws and a screwdriver. Nothing too important. So let's take a look. Let's see what's inside of here real quick before we get to the actual drone. This is like the phone clip holder for your FPV to see the app, and it looks like an extra battery in this one, so that's nice. You get two batteries. I've already charged one of these, and the battery itself, when you plug it in, just charges itself and then turns off. I'll show you that here in just a moment. So let's take a look at the drone. Again, this is foldable and it has brushless motors, as you guys can see. Rather compact. Pretty sure I weighed this. This is going to weigh more than 250 grams, I believe. Let me confirm that by grabbing my scale here, and we'll throw it on the scale just to see right now while I'm thinking of it, what does this come out to in terms of weight. So let's move it up here. Let's throw it on there. Now it's got a little gimbal guard you can take off. This plastic, but that's not going to make more than 1/10 of a gram difference. So I got 281 grams. So unfortunately, this is about 30 grams over the 250 weight limit on terms of non-registering and restrictions in some countries. So yeah, this little plastic piece comes off. Let me go ahead and fold out the arms. So you can see it's not a huge drone, but it looks pretty nice. It isn't really heavy though, but it's just unfortunate it's a little bit too heavy to keep you under that 250. So you can take this little plastic piece off, and again, this is just nothing. That's not going to make any difference on the weight. This is dampened, so that will help with any kind of vibes or jello possibly, but it's just a single axis, so you're going to have to keep that in mind. It's just going to be, you're going to only be able to rotate the camera up and down with the controller. But it is a 4K camera. They advertise, I don't know, the frame rate is probably going to be 25 to 30 frames per second. Hopefully 30, but you can't expect too much on that. We'll have to see how the video looks on this. But at least you can rotate it up and down remotely from the controller, but there's no gimbal. It doesn't, there's no stabilized gimbal, I should say. There's no 2 or 3 axis, so it's not going to have any stabilization. I didn't see any mentions yet of having EIS, which is electronic image stabilization. So unless it has that, the video is going to be rocky. It's gonna, it's gonna be better for shooting photos, I'm sure. And let's take a look at the bottom. There is a very tiny pinhole camera here, and I assume that's optical flow. When I'm saying I assume is because it could just be nothing. It sure looks like there's a lens in there, so I'm going to assume this does have optical flow. Hopefully as I dig more into this, I'll be able to confirm that. That'll help if you fly it indoors with a poor GPS lock, or if you lost GPS lock, this will look at the ground and try to keep it close to holding its position if you would lose GPS lock. And here is the battery. This is a 7.6 volt. That means this is a 2S, but it's lithium high voltage. It's a little bit higher voltage than your standard LiPos or lithium ions. So it's 7.6 volt. That's going to give it a little bit more punch, a little more power. And it is 1900 milliamp hours. So I get a pretty good flight time out of these. You see, you can press this, and this will, let's see if I hold it in. It's blinking. And you hold it in again, it should turn off. So that's your battery meter while you're charging, and also probably when you're flying, it probably will be lit up on where the battery power is. Now there's a little foam insert here that comes with it so that it doesn't accidentally power on while it's in the shipment and the package. You'd obviously pull that out, and that would plug in there. And you have a micro SD card slot right here, so that is where you're going to be able to put a micro SD card. There's not one included, but you'll be able to put that in there and record video locally, which is really good. And the controller, let's take a look at that. It comes with this quick start deal here, so it's telling us what all the features does. I like when they do this. That way you don't have to dig through the instruction manual to immediately know. If you just grab the quick start guide and looked at this, you're probably going to get up in the air with no problems, especially if you're somewhat experienced. So you got a GPS switch here. This is your follow me. So GPS is going to turn the GPS on and off. So you turn it off, you just go to altitude hold. Follow me is a follow. Sure, it's going to be following your mobile phone, so it's using the GPS in your phone to follow. Some of them have it built into the app where it tries to dynamically follow you by drawing a square around it. I'm pretty sure that's not what this is going to be. Usually that would be initiated within the app as well. This is in circle mode, so just circling around. And your speed rate switch there. Up on top, this is your photo and your video button. So this takes a photo, this will start the video. I like that these are on separate parts of the bumper there, so that you don't have to do a short press, long press. You can do either one. That's nice. And then this is your gimbal or camera tilt to tilt it down and up while you're flying. And it looks like there's a phone clip holder goes here. And let's see, is this rechargeable? Yeah, let's see if maybe it's under the antennas. Yes, it is. And a USB-C here, so that's what this uses to charge. The antennas, let's see if these are real or fake. Just taking a quick glance here. If I turn these around towards me, if I can, this one's not going to be able to. I don't see a wire on antenna A. I don't see one on B, so I have to look a little closer. I'm pretty sure these antennas are phony. They like to put these on a lot of these drones and make it look like you got a really high-end DJI drone or something and you've got an antennas up. You probably have to put them up just to get them out of the way of the phone clip holder, but if you don't have to, you're probably not going to make any difference because I don't see any. What you're looking for is a wire. A wire would run up usually on one of these antennas just to hold it out so you can get a better signal. And I'm not seeing any wires on these antennas. So they look like they're just phony, unfortunate. Not exactly surprising. I see these a lot on these lower cost GPS drones. So this one's not super cheap, but it's still, you know, an off-brand, being Ruko. And this is your one key return or one button return, GPS return. It's gonna press this, it will come back, fly overhead, come down and land really close, hopefully, to where it took off. And this is your power switch. You can see we have power, so obviously it's blinking because it's not bound to the aircraft itself. So I'm gonna make sure we didn't miss anything else here on the aircraft itself. Looks like we got everything. Again, a micro SD card slot's good because you can record the video and then not have to worry about any kind of drop frames if you're recording the Wi-Fi feed. You can still record the Wi-Fi feed, but you're going to drop frames. SD card will eliminate any of that stuff. So we'll have to see. I don't know the flight time in this. I don't worry so much about that because it's going to come back and land itself and the battery gets low, or if it got out of range, anything like that. So you don't have to worry about timing your flight or knowing when to keep it close. It should, and that always works right on these GPS drones. I've never had one that didn't come back and land on low battery. Even if it lands way off, at least it comes back close enough. All right, guys, I think we covered a lot of the stuff here. Let's take a look at the instruction manual, and then we'll go ahead and end this video so we can I can film the flight review in a separate one. So let's take a look here. It's got, mentions it's got a green light. I think that's in the back. Let's make sure this is focused on the instruction manual good. Yeah, just pretty much what I said. The USB spot on the battery is right here on the side right here. It's your USB charging port. And again, you don't have to use the one provided. Any USB-C cable will work because the battery itself handles the charging. They mentioned SD card slot. I don't see any mention of how long it takes to charge. A battery like that on USB, you want to make sure you're using a 2 amp charging port. It's still going to take quite a while to charge. So here's those controls, which we already went over. And here's a mention of that app, which was the Ruko. I wanted to say Roku again. The Ruko app. Did they mention it again there? No, but the aircraft is the Ruko U11 Pro with some numbers behind it. That's what you connect to, and I believe it says you need 5G. So it is 5G, so it'll have a better transmission signal, but obviously it's going to not have quite the range as 2.4. But there's no cross interference from the controller, or not near as much Wi-Fi interference on the 5 gigahertz range, though it's getting more cluttered than it used to be. Some information there about the app itself. They mention it right here, and yeah, it's called the Ruko GPS app, just like the box said. I think the box called it just the Ruko app. So, all right, guys, that wraps up the table review of the Ruko U11 Pro 4K foldable GPS drone. If you're new to the channel, be sure you click the subscribe button, if I can say it. Also, click the bell so you're notified when upload new videos, and stay tuned for that flight review coming to the channel soon. So have a good day, guys.
The power of the dark side.